Hello, guys. I'm Clara. I'm sure most of you here are married to the love of your lives. I am sure you trust them wholeheartedly and know that they will never break your heart. I was a believer too until my husband slammed divorce papers in front of me. It was totally out of the blue and when I was least expecting it. It was supposed to be our time with everything going well in our lives. After suffering for years on my single income, Max's business was finally making big profits. Instead of unwinding and finally enjoying our time together after years of struggle, Max ended up serving me divorce papers. I was so puzzled and in complete disbelief, I said, "This is a joke, right? You are not serious about this. This is not funny, Max." "What makes you think I would joke about something so serious? I don't have enough time to waste it on stupid jokes. I want a divorce." "You are not being real. This is just insane. I don't understand a thing. What the hell happened, Max? Why the hell do you want a divorce?" "I can't believe you're seriously asking me this question. Did you really think I would be shackled by a college dropout even after making it big?" "What the hell are you saying, Max? Why does my being a college dropout have to do with our marriage? You know I had to drop out because my parents died and I didn't have money. Hell, I couldn't go back to college because I was busy supporting your business." The laugh that came out of Max's throat was nothing short of an insult. He looked devoid of emotions when he casually said, "What makes you think you supported my business? What you did was merely provide a roof over our heads until I started to make profits with my own skills. You don't have the brains to manage or take care of a business. That's why it is important for me to divorce you now." "Max, why are you being so mean? You were able to establish this business because of me." "Yes, your mere contribution did help, but it was me who made my business successful. Now I don't need your money anymore. I need someone who I can show off to my new business associates, or someone who would help me take my business to the next level. You are neither beautiful nor clever enough to do anything for my business. I've got everything that I need from you so far. Now it's time to move on." Max's words were like a stab to my throat. I was really in shock and refused to believe that the love of my life could be so cruel. Now that he doesn't need much money to stay afloat, he decided to divorce me. Back then, my confidence and self-worth were already down in the dumps. I had often caught my husband openly flirting with rich heiresses and beautiful women with big ties to business. But I had trusted my husband because I thought he wouldn't do that to me. Well, guess what, guys? He freaking did it. He was discarding me and moving on after becoming successful. My stupid self had refused to believe that my husband was leaving me. I was still in love with him and desperate to get him back. Talking to him only resulted in me being humiliated by him. So, as a ditch effort, I decided to get his father, Jerry, involved. As soon as Jerry heard the full matter, he called us both to his house to talk. Jerry is a man of ethics, and I knew that he would try and talk some sense into Max. When Max turned up at his place, Jerry said, "What is this nonsense I've been hearing, Max? You're divorcing Clara and saying that she's not worthy of you? What is wrong with you?" "I see that Clara has told you about the divorce. Well, nothing's wrong with me. She simply isn't cut out to be my wife. Hell, she won't even be able to run my business if something happens to me. I can't be with someone like that." "You are kidding me, Max. What kind of a poor excuse is that? What makes you think Clara can't manage your business? She's an intelligent woman." "Dad, please. She doesn't even have a college degree. All she does is get a small salary as a bank teller. She's not fit to be a businessman's wife." Hearing Max say those horrible things again made me even more sad. I simply couldn't stop crying. Anyone in my place would have freaked off and saved herself from this humiliation, but I wasn't strong enough to do what was right for me. I was stupid and in love with Max. I really didn't want to separate from him. He was my first and only boyfriend, for God's sake. I would have done anything to get him back. As I cried, Max remained stoic and showed no empathy. Meanwhile, Jerry was getting mad but barely controlling himself. He said, "This is one of the most ridiculous things I have heard in my entire life. You don't know what you're talking about. If a college degree is the problem, you should be helping her get one and not divorcing her over it. You need to think things through before you do something so drastically stupid." "My decision is final, Dad. I've already sacrificed a good part of my youth in pursuing a dumb woman who can't even get a good job. There's no way I'm wasting any more time or money on Clara. It's time I move on and marry someone worthy of being a business owner's wife." "I see, son. I can't force you to do the right thing, but I know that you're making a big mistake, son. Mark my words, one day your decision will come back to bite you in your butt. When that day comes, I won't be there to help you either." "You won't have to, Dad. I'm confident in my decision. I won't regret it ever. There's no way in my universe that I'll ever need Clara's help. I know what I'm doing, Dad." By the time Max said that, I had stopped crying. The reality was dawning on me. There was no way Max would ever stay married to me. He hated me and wanted to get rid of me. I wasn't good enough for him. Even his father couldn't change his mind. At that point, I didn't think I wanted him to change his mind either. I simply walked out with Jerry and left. Jerry gave me a few days to recoup and think things through on my end. He actively encouraged me to get divorced from Max and told me that it was for the best. I fought for days and didn't know what to do. When the initial sadness wore off, Max's insults were starting to hit my soul. But instead of making me sad, it made me freaking angry. I was starting to think that maybe the divorce was a good idea after all. But before I made a solid decision, I decided to call Jerry over to my place. When he arrived, I said, "Jerry, I know you want me to divorce Max right away." "Yes, Clara, that's exactly what I want you to do." "But why, Jerry? Don't you want me to be with your son? I thought you didn't agree with his decision to divorce." "Clara, I still don't agree with Max's decision for a divorce. He's being a dumb idiot. Honestly, I think I failed to raise him right. I never wanted him to divorce you, but seeing his behavior towards you, I want you to divorce him. He isn't worthy of you." Jerry's words shocked me. After years of being an orphan, I finally felt like I had some sort of guardian in my life. I did consider Jerry as my own father, but I never knew Jerry felt that same way about me. His words brought tears to my eyes. I said, "Jerry, do you really mean that? You don't think I'm a failure like your son does?" "Like I said, Clara, my son is an idiot. You are one of the most intelligent women I know, and you are also like my own daughter. That's why I want you to get rid of my stupid son and show him how wrong he is." "I never thought that we would get divorced. I gave him everything. I loved him so much." "And he didn't know how to value that love. I don't want you to stay where you are not wanted, Clara. You have more self-respect than that. You can do much better than my son. Don't draw yourself back by fighting this divorce. There are better things out there for you." After Jerry left, I thought hard about what he said. It was true that I no longer wanted to stay where I wasn't valued. Yes, divorce still scared me, but it was necessary. To be honest, there was another driving force behind my decision to seek mutual divorce. I heard and saw Max already going out on dates with his potential romantic partners. He was actually openly cheating on me now. After all this, there was no way I would stay with him, so I called him up and asked for a mutual divorce. On the day the final papers were signed, Jerry was present. He was there on my side. I saw that it bothered Max, but he didn't comment. However, he did have some cheeky words for me after everything was finalized. He said, "I'm glad you came to your senses and didn't contest the divorce. It would have been a waste of money. Not that you have much money anyway." You don't have to worry about how much money I have, Max. I suggest you worry about yourself. I have a stable job while your business is prone to facing hurdles. Oh, Clara, you don't have to worry your dumb head about my business. Unlike you, I have the intelligence to manage a big business. I won't ever need your help or advice for that. You better start worrying about your own finances. Don't worry, Max, I already have. Only time will tell where we end up. May your overconfidence not betray you. As I left my old life behind that day, I made a promise to myself. When I have the chance, I will get my revenge, but it will be a long time before I do that. Before showing Max exactly what a big mistake he had made, I had a few things to accomplish. And I started off with getting a college degree. You may wonder how I managed to rejoin college with almost no savings and no alimony. Yes, I refused alimony because, well, I didn't want his dirty money. Anyway, I truly didn't have enough to pay for college degree, but Jerry was the one who helped. He randomly showed up a few days before my divorce was finalized and said, "I see that you're not taking alimony and not contesting the divorce." Yes, Jerry, it's not like I have tons of money to fight a lengthy court battle anyway. It's easier to cut ties this way. I agree with your decision, Clara. Still, I think you should have taken the alimony, although you may not need it in the future anyway. Have you ever thought about getting a college degree? I won't lie, but yes, I have. Unfortunately, I can't afford it. I don't think I will ever get that chance. Maybe someday when I'm fit to take a big loan. Why would you take a big loan when you have me? Go ahead and apply to your college. I will pay your tuition. I was pretty surprised by Jerry's generosity. I had no idea that Jerry seriously wanted me to excel and achieve my dreams. Hell, my own husband hadn't offered me a deal like this even after earning so much money. Here was Jerry giving me a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that would change my world. My voice trembled as I said, "Seriously, Jerry? You would do that for me? But why?" "I've been telling you for a while now, Clara. I see you as my own daughter. I promised your father that I would take care of you. I'm doing just that. I may not have a lot of wealth like my son, but I do have some money. I want to invest that into your college education." "You would do that for me? But Max wouldn't like that at all. He may stop talking to you and see this as a betrayal." "Well, it won't be as big of a betrayal as his. It's time he needs to learn his lesson. This is the money I've been talking about, Clara. He doesn't need to know or get a say in what I do with it." "I don't know what to say, Jerry. This is a lot. I don't want you to sacrifice for me." "It won't be a problem for me, Clara. Think things through after the divorce. You have time. You can consider it an interest-free loan that you can pay back. I know you have a lot of potential. Don't let it go to waste." I had plenty of time to think about Jerry's words. He was putting a very generous offer on the table. Anyone in my place would have jumped at the opportunity, but I was a little skeptical. After my now ex-husband Max mercilessly destroyed my confidence in myself, I was afraid of letting down Jerry. But as the divorce proceeded, I joined therapy and got some of it back. I promised myself that I wouldn't let Jerry down, and I needed to do this for me. So as the divorce was finalized, I took up Jerry's offer. I had told him, "I'm accepting your kindness, but I do have a condition." "Tell me, Clara, what is it?" "I promised myself that I would return this money when I made enough. I will only accept your help if you promise to take back the money when I can give it to you." "Oh, God, you knew I wouldn't have taken the money back. You know me so well, Clara. I hate taking money from you, and I consider this a gift. But if it eases your mind, I promise I won't turn it down." "Thank you, Jerry. I don't know how to thank you." Years passed since I divorced Max. Since then, he happily moved on and married a trophy wife within a year. It was bizarre, and it did hurt me, but I had Jerry supporting me through it. He even boycotted the wedding, and so did a lot of family members. Max was a little annoyed, but he was too deep in the fog to notice the damage he was doing. He also knew that Jerry kept in touch with me but didn't know about my life. Jerry didn't share much, and Max simply considered me too insignificant to care about. That was what I deserved for blindly loving a piece of shit. So life goes on, but my need for a little revenge doesn't go away. As people say, living your best life is the best revenge. Well, my life was certainly at its peak after I left Max. I completed my college degree in finance and immediately landed a managerial position at a prestigious bank. My grades and my previous work experience did come in handy. I was hired and given a pretty good salary. I actually managed to pay off the college fund that Jerry had put together for me. It did take some time, but I paid him back like I had promised myself. While things were looking up for me, Max's life was entirely different. His business started to go downhill after he made a series of bad decisions and investments. He also stupidly had a very large wedding to show off his wealth, but that money should have been preserved for other situations. Max was so sure of his capabilities as a businessman that he risked it all, and whatever was left was gone funding his rich lifestyle. As a result, his business suffered, and he was desperately looking for capital to save it. He tried his best by taking loans and all, but those didn't help either. So he was stuck in a rabbit hole of debt and had no money. In the end, when Max had no other place to go to, guess where he turned to? Yes, the bank, and most importantly, my bank. My loan officer presented me with the papers and told me what I thought about it. I carefully studied the papers and smiled. That night, when I was visiting Jerry, Max showed up. We were both a little surprised to see each other, but he quickly masked his surprise with disdain. He said, "Ah, I see that you're trying to live off my dad now, Clara. Gold diggers can be so predictable. You knew my dad had a soft spot for you, and now you're trying to take his money by acting all friendly." "It's good to see you, Max. I would give you some clarification for your accusations, but I simply don't want to indulge you. I'm here to talk to Jerry." "Dad, you must be stupid to let this woman stay in your life. You need to wise up before she starts to regularly ask you to fund her life. God knows how much you've already given her." It was amusing to see Max say those things about me. Also, it was equally amusing to see him warn his father about guarding his money. The entire situation was just ridiculous because we all knew that the only one needing money was him. Jerry actually laughed and said, "That's some intense projection, Max. Are you salty that I refused to lend you money to save your business? Well, I did warn you about it years ago." "I'm sure he has forgotten it all, Jerry. He has always been so sure of himself. Looks like it has come to bite him back in the butt. Instead of worrying about your dad's money, you should worry about your business more, Max." "You don't know what you're talking about. A high school pass-out can't humiliate me. My business is just facing some challenges. I'll make sure it comes out stronger. As for you, Dad, I don't need your money anymore. I've applied for a loan, and it will get approved soon. After that, I won't have to see the faces of you two. I will see who has the last laugh." Max said that angrily and left in a huff. We knew that we had hit a chord with him, and he was pissed. He didn't want to accept his anxiety and helplessness and still thought that he was above us all. After Max left, all we did was laugh and say, "That was quite a performance. I see that my son is still a dramatic idiot." Some things just don't change, I guess. But will his life change, Clara? Will you approve his loan and save his business? Jerry already knew the answer to that, so I simply smiled at him. I was eagerly waiting for what was about to happen in a few days. I sent out my decision about the loan the next morning. A day later, Max was sitting in front of me in my office. He looked pale, and there were bags under his eyes. He said, "So, you did get a college degree and became the manager here, and you rejected my appeal for a loan?" "That is correct, Max. I am sure you have received the right papers and the apology as well." "I don't want an apology. I need a loan. You can't just reject my loan just because I left you. I will sue you." I simply laughed at Max. He thought that I would put in so much effort to intentionally reject his application. But I was never unprofessional, and Max didn't deserve 2 seconds of my time. I was only interacting with him because he approached me professionally. Plus, I knew that it was my turn to get the revenge I always wanted. I smiled at him and said, "Oh, Max, go ahead and sue me all you want. You really think I would put in the time and effort to intentionally sabotage you? You are nothing to me. I did what any professional would do at this job. You rejected my loan on purpose. I have a big business and any bank would be happy to give me a loan. You intentionally didn't approve my loan because I ditched you." "You must be a special kind of delusional, Max. Everyone knows that your business is about to die. The fact that your credit score is one of the lowest we have seen in a while also helped me make the decision. Hell, even my loan officers were baffled as to why you thought we would approve such a big loan so easily." Max looked like I had struck a nerve again. He was angry, but I could also see that hint of desperation on his face. He was about to make strange accusations at me again, but changed his mind. Instead, he suddenly turned a little desperate. He said, "Look, whatever happened between us is in the past. You are now in a good position and can help me. Please, just give me one chance. I really need this loan." "Really, Max? I thought you were a good business, or at least that's what you had always claimed to be. How can one rejection for a loan make you so desperate?" "There is no use for me to pretend any more. You already know how bad things are. Even Dad won't help me. This is my only chance." "Well, that's too bad, Max. You should have paid more attention to managing your business than making sure your life is picture perfect. Perhaps you can ask your wife to help. You did boast about her being educated, rich and all." "My wife won't help, Clara. We are on the brink of a divorce. She doesn't want to downgrade her life or be stuck with a failed businessman. I'm about to lose both my beloved business and my wife." Whoops. How unfortunate for you, Max. I guess karma does come back to bite us all after all. Max looked super ashamed and was looking down at his feet. He sat there in silence for a few minutes in shame. I let him be because I was really enjoying watching him face the consequences of his actions. Max gave me much more, though. When I asked him to leave after a while, he turned hysterical. He actually started to cry and begged me to approve his loan. It was really pathetic, and I was getting annoyed. I asked him to leave multiple times. After many attempts to get him out, I called security, who escorted him out. It was pretty satisfying, and I finally felt like I got my justice. As the days passed, karma hit Max even harder. He couldn't get a loan anywhere and was forced to make his company public again. This time, he sold more than 70% of his shares because of his debt. He was only left with like 20% of the total company shares. This was another great opportunity for me to serve another cold dish of revenge. I ended up buying a good part of the company. Now I actually have more shares in the company than Max. When he saw me at the shareholders' meeting, his face was priceless. In a few months, he was begging to have me back in his life. By then, his wife had already filed for divorce and his dad had cut him off completely, so he was forced to beg me for a chance to have some semblance of the old life he had. Suffice it to say, I rejected him. It's been 2 years since it happened, and I must say that I am doing pretty well for myself. I'm actually engaged now and waiting to have a fall wedding in a year or two. Jerry and I are still close and talk regularly. He will be walking me down the aisle when I get married again. He and Max are still not talking. Max has been divorced and unable to be in any stable relationship. He did get his spending habits under control, but he's apparently unsatisfied with the life he's leading. He did beg me to take him back, but it will be a cold day in hell before that happens.